The global market action, a lot of cues that we have to track, but how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in to tell you just that. This is our Power Prep segment where we'll tell you all about the trade setup, stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Hi guys, a very good morning to all of you. First up, Ekta, let me come across to you. What is the market setup looking like today?
Thanks for that. Well, yesterday, in fact, it was positive because the markets did break that three-day losing streak. We had a marginal net sell from the institutions but overall participation is likely to be low from the FIIs. So FIIs net sold close to around 700 odd crores in yesterday's trading session. DIIs net bought around 636 odd crores. Sector-specific interest continues for our market, so we've been reiterating this. So I just want to say that there are a lot of the PSU banks which continue to be in focus. For example, Canara, Central Bank of India, IOB, all of these stocks are either at fresh highs or fresh 52-week highs. Also, shares of new age companies such as Nykaa, Paytm continue to be in focus. So a lot of sector-specific as well as stock-specific action for our markets, despite FII interest probably waning a little bit, as well as possibly the markets being range bound. Now, in terms of global cues, China steps on COVID-19, Brent crude, which is at multi-month lows, US Fed minutes in on Wednesday, continue to be the big triggers for our markets. For example, China has shut parks and museums on account of COVID-19 fears in Beijing. Now, US closed largely higher. We have Asia, which is mixed this morning. This is all ahead of the US Fed minutes. So the markets are likely to be ranged due to a lack of significant cues and ahead of the Fed minutes. There is also expiry on Thursday, so just watch out for the lack of volatility, which is a good thing because the India VIX is the lowest that we've seen in 2 years.
Okay, yes, that's right. Ekta, thank you so much for joining us with all those cues. Vaishta is joining us. She'll list out all the stocks to watch out for in today's trading session. Hey Vaishta, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Sonal. Well, let me start with Siemens, which declared its Q4 FY22 results yesterday post-market. Remember, the company follows a financial year which is October to September. There was a healthy growth on a year-on-year basis, but has missed estimates on all fronts. The revenues were up 12% and come in at 4,600 crores. The CNBC-TV18 poll was at 5,100 crores. The order inflows were up 25% on a year-on-year basis. Order backlog is also strong at 17,100 crores. Moving on, Adani Enterprise will be having a board meeting on coming Friday to consider and approve the proposal of raising of funds. Vartech Babak will also be having a board meeting on 25th of November to consider and approve the proposal for fundraising by way of issue of non-convertible debentures. Nykaa, again, in news because there's been a resignation of the CEO, which is Mr. Arvind Agarwal. And the last is Bharti Airtel. The company's subsidiary Nextra Data commences the construction of its data center in Kolkata, and this is to invest 600 crores in the development of data center. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Vaishta, thank you so much for all those stocks. Now, finally, Nigel is joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Hey, Nigel.
Well, morning, Sonal. The institution numbers are as flat as can be because the FI and the DIs, they cancelled out each other. But what do the FIs do in the F&O market? Well, yesterday there was some short covering. So close to around 10,000 contracts did cover out on the short side. And they added close to around 5,000 long. So this long positioning goes up even a little bit more. On the option side, well, they bought some puts. In case things go wrong, there is some cushion on that side. But the call writing, that was something that was evident in the last 3 sessions when the Nifty was a little bit brittle. Yesterday, those call writers, they had to run for cover because there was big covering of those call writing. And, there was a bit of a reversal because now there was put writing that we see, which I'll view very, very positively. The call writers, well, they had to cover out positions. I said 8,300, 8,400 calls. But keep in mind, the open interest out there is still around 1 crore odd. So bulk of the street is still factoring in that by tomorrow, that's when expiry plays out. Still, the Nifty will not get past that 18,350 to around 18,400 odd mark. So let's see whether or not that happens. On the downside, though, there was some put writing, 18,200 put, 18,100 put. Good amount of open interest built up out there. 18,200 put, the premium was around 50 rupees approximately. So that's telling you those traders are playing for around 18,150. So let's plug in the numbers. Resistance zone, 18,350 to around 18,400. Going by the call writing and the highest amount of open interest, while, there is some support that's seen at lower levels, that's the 18,100, 18,138, which incidentally is the low that we saw yesterday. The SGX Nifty for starters is indicating that we're likely to start off in the green. Remember, buying the gap up hasn't been beneficial. So look for a dip if you're bullish and then only get into the Nifty. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Nigel, Vaishta, Ekta, thank you so much for joining us, prepping us up for this trading day ahead.